Hi, Hollywood progressive friends. Here's the trio back again. We saw an absolutely lovely play last night. The title of the play was Clarkston, was written by Samuel D. Hunter, a very prolific young playwright, winner of the MacArthur Genius Award. Plays at the Echo Theater, which is Atwater Village Theater, plays now through October 21st. Quite a delightful play. What did you think?
I really enjoyed this play. So I don't want to talk it up too much. I want people to go and see it for themselves. It's very simple. There are only three actors in the play. The set design is very minimalist.
Yeah.
So you're really relying on the words that were written by the playwright and the craftsmanship of the actors. They brought so much to the performance. The two actors starts off with two actors on the stage. There are three in total in the play, but it starts off with two actors on the stage. And even though the set design was barely anything, you really got a strong sense that you were in Costco.
Costco, yeah.
Yeah. And the one of the actors, um it's interesting because as the play begins and these two actors start, they're meeting for the first time and they're working at Costco, and the relationship and who is the leader in the relationship. They're beginning a relationship which starts out as a working relationship. Who's in the lead on the relationship, the dominant person, is different in the first act than it is as the play moves forward and it progresses. And you see how relationships sort of work naturally, kind of like you and I did. Sometimes I'm the boss and sometimes you're the boss.
When am I the boss? I'm the boss?
Anyway, I loved it. I loved everything about it.
Nia, do you have thoughts?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I absolutely agree. This was a wonderfully simple show that relayed some very complex messages in a really beautiful way. There was laughing, there was crying, all the dialogue felt very, very natural. Everything flowed. I don't think there were any times where I was pulled out of the experience. Um, just a very well thought out play. Like Sharon said, the set was extremely minimal. There was really only one set piece, and that was for when they were in Costco. And the rest really relied on well, the actors and what they were talking about and how they were relaying it, but also the sound design and the lighting design. They did a wonderful job with the lights that they had available to them and the sounds that they had available to them. I at least knew exactly where I was in the play for every scene. This play was a very, I guess, down to earth is the phrase I'm looking for. It was a very, very real, raw, honest play. It absolutely was someone's life. I can see how the story and the stories being played out, both taken individually and woven together. I think everyone has experienced at least one piece, either one of the stories or both of the stories or all of them together happening at once. Very much a human play, um, but not so human. Like if there was still an entertainment factor to it, there were still little comments that made everyone laugh and broke up the tension, and it felt like you were watching this relationship unfold over what I believe must have been over several weeks, if not a couple of months, but it was such a natural flow. I felt like I was right there with them going through the relationship, learning what they were learning about each other and themselves along the way. And then the whole time I thought was interesting was this tie of Lewis and Clark. So that was kind of the main driving force for one of the actors to even be at this Costco. And it just kind of kept propping up throughout the storyline of the play, which I thought was very cute. And at the end turned out to be, sort of this tying bond for them, but without being an overwhelming part of it. Um, it's
Yeah,
just it's a sweet play, sweet play. What were you gonna say?
It was kind of like, I forgot about the Lewis and Clark theme to it, but it was almost like modern day Lewis and Clark.
Yeah, exactly. You had these two young men
Journey.
on a journey, on an adventure, ups and downs and laughs and tears and everything in between. Just very beautiful. Again, like also like Sharon said, I don't want to play it up too much and sort of twist the experience for whoever's watching this because of the video, but it's just a sweet play. You felt good watching it. It was wholesome. Um, you felt for each character for different reasons. That's true.
It's not intended for kids. Do not bring your kids.
No, not intended for kids. Not intended for kids. But I think it's the stories being told were something everyone I think can, if not relate to, can understand and appreciate and feel the depth through how these actors portrayed these characters. What did you think, Dad?
So I made a crack when I joined you two out front. I said, well, wasn't that wonderful how the playwright just thought all that up? Because obviously it was kind of the opposite. Now, I don't know that he lived any parts of those stories, the story, but it felt like it. It felt so real, like it was like didn't put a foot wrong. It was like this is how, one person, these are two lost young men. One knows he won't live long, and the other is escaping a horrible childhood and has these dreams to be things, but he's really afraid that he'll get stuck in the backwater town forever and never escape. But you felt for each of the characters, even the mom who did the poor job of raising him and who shows up, but you understand that. I mean that's very much a part of what's going on in our world, and the tugging and turning about sexuality. I mean that's very current, and it seemed very real. I enjoyed that. I particularly enjoyed the actor who played Michael Sturgis, who played Jake. I'm not sure I got the right one, but one of the actors has a physical disability, and he played it so well. You thought he really did. Other times, you'll see an actor who's playing with some kind of special disability, but you can see they're playing it. But he just seemed like it was so real. Just the expression on his face just looked like a person who had these kind of issues.
Yeah.
So as I said, Samuel D. Hunter, and we saw an earlier play of his, A Great Wilderness, which was the play that I mentioned last night about an old man who had been practicing gay conversion up in the same neck of the woods up in Idaho in a cabin, and been trying to convert young gay men, and that was heartwarming as well. And this has two inexperienced people trying to develop their sexuality. It just rang true as could be to me.
Yeah, and so you've already mentioned Michael Sturgis. Sean Luke Rogers plays the other young man who's in the Costco, and then Tasha Ames plays the mom, meth-addicted mom. It's fantastic, great writing.
Absolutely. I also want to note I apologize. I suck with names, but the mom character, how the playwright showed how hard it is to live with someone who's struggling with narcotics, and that very difficult, very complicated relationship that forms, especially if it's between a parent and a child. And I think we saw her for 3 scenes, and in those 3 scenes, maybe 10 minutes of dialogue each, 15 minutes, this playwright managed to show the range of emotions and the range of conversations and the ebb and flow of this type of relationship dynamic that I haven't seen as successfully done in any other plays, or even honestly in TV and other forms of media. So I thought that was
Just very,
very
very,
well
very
done.
well. Yep, very,
Mm.
very well acted. And I did something that I generally don't do. I laughed out loud.
Yeah,
More than once.
yeah. A lot
Yes.
of good humor.
Yeah.
It was kind of,
Yes.
it's a kind of a bittersweet
Yeah,
tale,
there was
but there's a lot of
sadness. It
humor
was
in it.
just like life, just
Yeah.
kind of,
Yeah.
yeah.
And again, I mean, as Nia mentioned, it had the minimalist set design. Just they wheeled a few things around, and then it was suddenly the Costco storeroom, and then they wheeled them away, and then it's the beach by the river that runs through town, and that's really kind of all you needed.
Yeah. Right. They really are just telling a story, and you don't really need a whole lot of set design. They did use an interesting technique in symbolizing the passage of time, which was they took this burlap fabric that was
Yes.
that was sort of hanging like a curtain, and they had maybe 6 of them, and they just bring them in one at a time. And I was thinking that these pieces of fabric were an indicator that a bit of time had passed. You don't really know how much time had passed, but
Yeah, I agree. I also saw those. I saw them as the passage of time. I also saw them as time passes, the intricacies of your relationships and your life becomes more complex and interwoven with other pieces of time. It's so simple and yet so beautiful. That's all they needed. Everything was relayed. I think we took every story in wholly, start, middle to end. Yes. Yes.
So it was directed by Chris Fields, and it's not a new play. I thought it was a world premiere. That's what I told you guys, and it's not. It's like 15 years old, but it's the West Coast premiere. And I'm kind of surprised that it hasn't been out here before. It's such a delightful play.
yeah,
I don't know. It had a very full audience, and obviously everybody appreciated it.
yeah.
So
And where did we see it?
we saw it at the Echo Theater Company playing at the Atwater Village Theater.
And how long will it be there?
It's there till October 21st.
2000,
Highly recommend. I would definitely recommend.
2024.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you for including me, guys. I had
Yeah.
a great time.
And now Nia's going to take Jose and go review a play in New York
New
City.
York. Oh.
She's going
I
to
am.
budget.
Yes.
Okay.
All
That's
right.
how I do.
So long.
Thank you for sticking around. If you like the LA Progressive content and the discussions we have here, please consider clicking the subscribe button below and also give us a thumbs up. That helps to grow our audience by feeding the algorithm, which helps to get this content in front of more eyes. Thanks for stopping by. We really appreciate your support.